Let's see how to apply styling to React application using CSS. For this one, we are going to use custom CSS. In the next video, I will show you how to use third-party libraries like Bootstrap or Tailwind CSS. Let's begin with custom CSS. And as always, I have renamed the previous project as styling. And this is where we left in the app.jsx, where we implemented what is called JSX. So here I'm going to remove everything from here, and that is from the app component, and even this one. Let's continue to build our UI. For this one, we are going to build a simple UI for a user profile. Again, if you want to write multiple HTML, then you need to wrap it in a container as that. Or we can use what is called fragment. So here I can remove the div here, likewise this. This is what we call fragment in React. So this one will not create any node in your application. But since we are getting started, let's use the div as our container. And the next one is that I want to use image. This is going to be similar the way we use images in HTML. So here provide the SRC, and here let's get to pixabay.com. Here you can use free license images in your project, and I like this cute cat. So I'm gonna copy the image, right click, and then copy image address, and then place it here as that. And let me provide the alt attribute, and I will say avatar. Now let's see, and this is the image. So this is where we are going to use CSS to control this. But let's continue. This is our image, and down here I'm gonna provide h2, and for this I will say Emmanuel, and then provide p tag, and this is gonna be my bio. I will say full stack web developer. Then after that I'm gonna have ul, and inside provide li, and I will say these are gonna be my hobbies, coding. Alright, so let's see the preview, and this is what we have. So how can we apply custom CSS to this? For this approach, I'm gonna show you 4 ways. One way is to use inline style directly. So it means that for each of these HTML here, we can apply inline styling as we do in HTML. So here, I'm gonna provide style attribute. And for JavaScript, we need to bring in double curly braces as that. This is what we call object. So here we can write any CSS. For example, width. And I will say 150 pixels, comma here, height is also 150 pixels, and have border radius. Take note about CSS properties in React. They are camel casing. As you can see, let me show you the border radius. Here, it starts with lowercase b, and the radius is uppercase R. So they are camel casing. So here I will say 50%. And then object fit, I will say cover. So let me add the comment as applying inline style directly, and this is how we write comments in React. I got this syntax color because of the extension called beta comment. So I will say applying. Alright, and there we go. So we can also apply, for example, on the h2, I will say style, and then provide color, and I will say red. As you can see, it has been applied. But let me use, let's say, purple. Alright, so that is it. The next type of the styling is to use what is called style object. So here, outside the JSX here, and that is inside my component, I can create this object for my styling, and I will say inline style object for the container. And which container is this div container? So here I will say const container style is equal to an object and provide CSS properties as text align, and I will say center and then margin, and I will say 20 pixels. One thing about this format is that you don't have the IntelliSense. So how can we apply it? So let's say I want to apply it on this div. Then bring space here and bring in style with 1 curly braces as that, and then provide the container style. Now let's see. As you can see, we have it at the center of the page. Next approach is to use what is called CSS style sheet. For this one, we are going to create the file for the CSS. At the moment, let's create the files in this SRC folder. I can name my file as lowercase or uppercase. So let's say this is for a profile. I can say user profile.css. For this one, you can name it whatever you want. So let me hit enter, and let's have few lines of CSS. So here I'm gonna have a class with a name, and then change the color to hashtag 333. There is no quote around it, and then margin 10 pixels, 0 pixels, and then I will have value and color of hashtag 366. Alright, so in the JSX here, I'm going to apply the class names to this. So let me remove this one from here. And how can we use the CSS style sheet? This is where this attribute comes in by using what is called class name. In normal HTML, it is called class, but in React, it is called class name. So for this one, I'm going to provide name, and this one is called the bio. Let me check. Yeah, it is called bio. Awesome. So now we have applied this CSS inside this JSX. So if I save it, nothing seems to be happening because we are not using this file. So if you want to use this file globally, then we're going to require it or import it inside the index.jsx. Supposed to be JS instead. I think I'm working with Vite. Alright, sorry for that. But in case we want to use this file to a particular component, then it means that we are going to require it inside this particular file. So here, up here, bring in import quotes and then the path to the file as user profile.css. Make sure to add the extension as .css. With this one, let's see. As you can see, it has been applied. If I change this one to red, as you can see, it has been applied. So this is how we can use the CSS style sheet. The next one is going to be using CSS module format. So in here, SRC here, I'm going to create one file called user profile.module. Make sure to add .module.css. So in here, we are going to style the hobbies and then the hobby by using class as hobbies, and then list style, supposed to be list style type, gonna use none, and then padding of 0. This is just a simple CSS, and the actual hobby provide background color of FO. Supposed to be F0 instead. And then margin 5 pixels, 0 pixels, and then padding all sizes 10 pixels, and then border radius of 5 pixels. So now let's apply these classes to the element itself inside the app.jsx. Supposed to be JS instead. So here, that is the URL. We have to require the CSS here as import, and I'm going to assign to what is called style from .userprofile.css.module. So in here, for the URL, is going to be class name, is going to be as an object, then provide the style dot, we have what is called the hobbies. So save it and let's see. As you can see, the bullet points are gone, meaning that it is working. The next one is going to be the individual LIs. So copy this and then place it here for the individual LIs and change this one to hobby. And let's see, and there we go. This is how we can use custom CSS in React. In the next video, I'll show you how we can integrate third-party CSS libraries like Bootstrap or Tailwind CSS.